Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the Apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos and are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Alright, so this is going to be another RFID microchip, Mark of the Beast video. I have a few very small articles speaking on it. They came out pretty much last week and a few days ago. I'm going to go ahead and read this precept before I read the articles. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Like I've said in prior videos, the work of a watchman is to stand upon the watch, in the ancient world, to see if any invaders come in to the place, of like the residents, like the walls of Jerusalem, pretty much. But right now is a spiritual warfare. So as a watchman of Yahweh Shai, you're watching for these prophecies to be unveiled. You're watching all these things so you can measure the times diligently, so you know when is pretty much Yahweh Shai's return, and that return is right around the corner, pretty much. I can't give you a specific date, but through me measuring the times with all these prophecies, and then because of the topic of this video, the RFID microchip being the mark of the beast, his return is nigh at hand. Alright, so it says, I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Bahashim shall answer me, and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. And I'm going to read these articles and show you this picture, and it's pretty much plain onto the tables. I've broken down, what the word mark and the blue letter means. It means, in the Greek, it means charagma. And if you look at the root word, it's karox, grapho. It's just, it can be nothing else but this RFID technology that John the Revelator saw in that prophecy. So I've made it plain. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. Might as well. I got to make it plain into the table. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into it. I've done this many times, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. Alright, so his tools in Revelation 13:16 is he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to free and bond, to receive a mark. G5480. The Greek word there is charagma. And you scroll down, the outline of the biblical usage is a stamp, an imprinted mark. So when John the Revelator was seeing these people, they couldn't function in that society that he was seeing, Babylon pretty much, without this device, without this stamp, imprinted mark. If you look at the root word, it's charox. And what charox is a pale or stake or a palisade. So to have that device in you, you would have to insert it into your body with a pale or a stake. People say that it was the tattoo. Well, pretty much, this is the ultimate step of what that RFID device, the beast system is going to require this radio frequency technology to function. Like the barcode thing with the tattoos. They only go so far, and Esau Edom's enterprise, he pretty much requires you to have that RFID chip to function in his beast system, his new world order, so to speak. So I click the root word again, and you get grapho, and it says to write with reference to the form of letters. So there was information written on this device that you had to have had something, pretty much stabbed into you to be put in. So I, made it as plain as possible that this RFID chip is prophecy being unveiled within our very eyes. Alright, so continue on. Let me see. And we'll go verse 2 on Habakkuk 2 verse 2. It says, And the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Shai answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And pretty much I say these things. People who take heed to this, they pretty much they get saved. and then I get the blood washed off my hands because I warned you about this coming imminent, destruction, pretty much. Because if you take that chip, it's a one-way ticket to the lake of fire. You get slotted for destruction here in Babylon by those thermonuclear missiles. But me telling you these things, if you don't get it, you're gonna get this chip or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're whatever nation you're, Israelite or Edomite, because there's going to be Edomites that aren't going to take this chip because they're aware that it's the mark of the beast, and pretty much their destiny is slotted for slavery, and if they don't take that chip, they may or may not get nuked by thermonuclear missiles, but it's a guarantee that anybody who takes that chip is going to get burned in the lake of fire, so I'm telling you these things, and so I'll go ahead and pull the precept that I'm referencing in my mind. All right, so this is Romans 11:7. It says, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest are blinded." So if you pretty much you hear this and you forbear this, that's pretty much means that you were blinded for this, because people are going to take this chip, and people aren't going to take this chip. That's what the scripture says. What the prophecy pretty much is speaking about. So whoever takes it, because I told you and you didn't forbear it, pretty much you were blinded. I did my job in telling you the warning. All right, so continue on. Verse 3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." And you see all these things happening. I'm going to pull up the news articles. It's not tarrying. It's literally right around the corner. Like, it's only just a few more, days, so to speak, hours, that this thing is going to be full-fledged. It's going to be mandatory. Any of those people who, like I don't know if it was Indiana, they put up a law where, like, a company can't force their workers to take that chip. Well, that law is not set in stone. This prophecy that's written in this book is set in stone. So, pretty much that law is going to be written up. People aren't going to be allowed to, force their employees to take that chip, but eventually they're going to write away that law. Just like how they wrote it into effect, they're going to write it out of effect. All right, so this is the article. It's brinkwire.com, I guess. And the title is The Rise of Russia's Biohackers. This article was posted on February 22nd, 2020, Year of Prophecy. Alright, so it says, biohackers in Russia are embracing technology to help improve their life and increase their life expectancy as part of a growing movement. The trend of putting implants into the body is growing steadily around the world, and Russians are using microchips and monitoring technology to improve their life. Biohacking is a global movement. Those whose followers seek to upgrade their bodies with experimental technology and do-it-yourself health fixes that began in Silicon Valley. For some wealthy Russians, and technology is being adapted to allow them to live longer. They use biohacking techniques to keep tabs on key biometrical markers that speak to their biological age. So it's pretty much, because not only is this RFID chip going to be the way to buy and sell in the society, they're going to use it for other benefits. It's going to keep an eye on your medical situation. It's also going to an extent, enhance people's bodies. And with that, it's because Esau Edom, he's wiser than Daniel, so he's got he was pretty much gifted this idea to do this thing so that he can do this for filthy lucre, for carnality reasons. All right, so this is Revelation 13:13. It says, "And he doeth great wonders," and one of those great wonders that he does, it's not necessarily a righteous great wonder. It could be a wicked great wonder. And with this wicked great wonder is this technology that he has with this RFID chip. Because it's going to be able to mitigate your internal like sugar levels for diabetic people. It's going to make women not go through their periods. So forth and so forth. So these are great wonders. This is really an unheard of technology. But it's out and about, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes mandatory, so that you can function in society to buy and sell. Most people, they're not going to take this chip for other reasons. They're still going to be peons, and they're going to need a job. They're going to need to get paid, so they're going to take that chip. All right, so it says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." because the Heavenly Father pretty much gifted Esau the blessing of the sword. Isaac, Esau's father, gave him that blessing. And, right now it's manifesting to its fullest because he's the only nation who had the technology of fire and brimstone, like what was used in Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's the technology of thermonuclear weapons. So he's doing all these great wonders, because he's wise to do evil pretty much. He's doing these great wonders with his RFID chip. He can buy and sell, and just it's all checked in there. And you ain't gonna get stolen money or this and that. It's all pretty much because right now is his rulership, his kingdom, and so are the people are, or sorry, suck as the king is, so are the people. Dumb and carnal. So it says, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And the beast is NATO and the EU. But I was saying the beast system because the system around the ability to use the RFID chip to function in it is pretty much the Internet of Things, 5G. Because people say this little chip's not going to be able to track you. Well, if the whole world is connected to 5G, it will be able to track you. That's how it works. That's how cell phones work, pretty much. And all that technology, like this thing is not going to be a cell phone, but it's going to have the antenna that's going to communicate with everything that's 5G in the cities and the towns. Wherever Esau puts those Internet of things, so that he could pretty much manifest his beast system. Alright, so it says, continuing right here, it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image of the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. That's talking about the Roman Empire, and they're back in the forefront right now, as America. Alright, but I'm going to continue on this article. It says, I'm not even going to try to say this person's name. But it says he makes an incision in the fold of skin between his client's thumb and index finger and pushes in a small glass cylinder. And then this person, 24-year-old programmer, went to this person to get a microchip implanted under the skin of his hand. It's a small cylinder and placed in the fold of skin between his client's thumb and index finger and pushed in a small glass cylinder. This thing right here, pretty much. Alright, it says, speaking on this device is mainly because it's convenient, but there's also a kind of exclusivity because practically no one else has this. It's going to come a time when it's going to be mandatory, so it's going to be a normal thing. Just like how before credit cards wasn't a normal thing. There was an exclusivity to credit cards, but now you need a credit card to buy a house, pretty much. Alright, so this person and that person are among a growing number of Russians interested in biohacking. For some, the lifestyle trend involves implanting technology under their skin and doing great wonders with those devices under their skin. Alright, so, all this stuff, I gotta make sure that, I gotta make it plain to the table that this thing that they're inserting their hand to keep an eye on their sugar levels or whatever, it's also going to keep track of your banking situation, so that it fulfills prophecy. I'm going to go ahead and read that for also. So Revelation 13:16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So without this device, you won't be able to buy or sell. Alright, so this article is posted on the 22nd of January, 2020, year of prophecy. And it says, Square wins patent for crypto to fiat processing repo. It says Square has won patent for a payment network that would enable seamless transactions between crypto assets. So they have pretty much a way to use crypto assets. Like types and fiat currencies. CoinDesk reports. So like all those cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Litecoin. People. They said that it wasn't going to get big, and it got big, but they were saying it wasn't going to get big because it was practical. It takes too long to buy things. But pretty much, they're sharpening their sword. They're wheating this device. They're making it better. They're making it more functionable with the beast system, so that it can work in this so-called new world order that Esau's trying to develop. So this is Job 5:12. It says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty." It's because the Heavenly Father and Yahweh Shai, they're going to come down here and pretty much interrupt him before he finishes his enterprise. So if we continue on, it says, "So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night." Yeah, that's pretty much that, because Yahweh Shai is going to pretty much rain on his parade, and this isn't going to come to fruition, pretty much. Alright, so we'll continue on this thing. It says, the patent provides for a system that could let people holding different asset types transact in real time. So this is the key thing right here, is why people are going bananas for this thing, is because this is pretty much the way to buy things with crypto in real time. So it's becoming more like in a layman's terms, smarter to use as opposed to paper money. Because one thing what they want to do is they want to get rid of the paper. You want everything to be cashless, so that you're forced to take this chip. You can't get gold or silver in that day. You got to have this chip and have your credits put in it. Alright, so it says the present technology permits a first party to pay in any currency while permitting the second party to be paid in any currency according to the application. So like let's say you're from Canada and you go to Denmark, and it's as seamless as that, because it's going to be a universal money system. So if you work in Canada, you make the money or whatever, and you go to Denmark, whatever, you'll be able to do transactions there without the so-called headache of foreign money. It's all they do the math for you pretty much. Alright, so continue on this little article. It says that could smooth the use of currencies like Bitcoin for retail use, an application where few merchants can take payment methods that take too long to process amid widely swinging values. So with this crypto thing, because people right now, they can use crypto with their phone. So obviously, it stops here. Esau's enterprise of crypto and cashless society stops here because it works, right? Well, this RFID microchip is designed to work with the crypto. I got this website, bychip.com. It says this is the first and only distance-readable human microchip with internet connectivity. Bychip has a unique ID for general identification and can store your medical data, driver's license, and passport. It can also be used as an alternative payment system integratable with cryptocurrency wallets. As we're being watchmen of Yahweh Shai, we're watching for these prophecies, and we're measuring the times diligently, and pretty much all roads lead to the RFID microchip. Because eventually the prophecy in Revelation 13:16 is going to be in full effect. It's going to be in full swing, and this is going to be the device. This is the actual the thing that John the Revelator saw. He couldn't call it a RFID frequency copper antenna with a glass covering, because all John the Revelator saw was that these people were putting an incision, and this device that they were putting in was the way to buy and sell. So that's the end of this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and Shalom Akim.